Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Radical Geek YouTube channel. Happy Sunday and welcome to CAWFEE Talk. So let's see, we've got quite a few people in the chat. We've got Carrie, Jen, Ryquin. Let's see, oh, Lisa's here and Strong is here. Let's see. Yeah, and so I know more people are going to be joining us. It'll be a few minutes, I'm sure. I know that Hungry Heath gets off work like right at the nick of time and they try to prep dinner. But I do have quite a few things today to talk about, even though it is, oh, hey, and Renee has joined us. And I'm just going to tell you guys, I'm rough around the edges, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Not like so bad, but definitely a struggle. Let's see. And Jackie's Jinx Journey has joined us, and Teresa's here. Good to see you guys. So, yeah, so, okay. Like, last time I was sad, and today I'm just, like, so out of sorts. So, it's going to be two chaotic in a row. But we'll get back on track by next week, I'm sure. That the famous last words. Let's see. Oh, and yeah, congratulations. We did have our meetup yesterday. It was lovely. A couple people had to cancel at the last minute, but that's awesome. I'm gonna do a couple things here. First and foremost, today is my first day of a 30-day stretch of the BBBE protocol. And we'll get into that. That's part of what we're going to talk about with this live stream. But you guys, the BBBE is a singular coffee experience in the course of a day. And hello, Air Fry and Auntie. Good to see you. I'm just telling you, nobody has died yet. But, boy, you know, it's rough going right now. I could have gone to bed at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I will say some naps were taken by other family members. So it's been a strong. It's been a rough transition, but overall positive. A lot of things we're gonna have to figure out. Hey, Paleo Barbie, good to see you, and Hungry Heath, you've joined us. Gigi's here, nice to see you, and Sharon, hey, good to see you. Ooh, brisket. I'm just gonna have to give me a moment. Okay, so, oh God, it's just so good. Okay, so I told you though, because it was my first day, I was getting a special coffee, and I did. This is the Kickin' Horse coffee, and it is the Smartass blend, which seemed very, very appropriate. But I will tell you that Kickin' Horse is a premium coffee. It is well renowned. Coffee aficionados love it. General, coffee enthusiasts love it. Everybody seems to really enjoy Kickin' Horse coffee. That's why it's very expensive. That's not why it's very expensive, I jest. And I'll tell you why it's a bit expensive. But let's see, I see some more people have come on. Hey, the Warden, good to see you. So the thing about Kickin' Horse coffee, this fits right in line. You have heard me say this a few times. I really dig on the groovy, sustainable stuff. It's a fair trade coffee and is organic certified. We'll talk about what organic means to them. Organic means that they do not have any pesticides or herbicides used in the farms where they acquire their beans. Their beans are the 100% Arabica beans, and they're roasted in the Rocky Mountain region up near Canada. If you're not familiar with the Rocky Mountains are enormous. It's like a 3,000-mile stretch coming from all the way up in Canada, all the way down through the United States, down into New Mexico. So, and enormously beautiful. Just give me a second here. It smells good. Yeah, Carrie, it was definitely way more than I would like to spend on coffees in general. But I thought that this was a special occasion for me, and it would be really worth it for today. Oh, Carrie, you just ate the whole coffee beans? That's hardcore. I've had though chocolate covered espresso beans in pre-keto life, And those are actually pretty good, so maybe. I will say I'm one of those people who's fortunate that the coffee doesn't necessarily keep me awake, but the coffee does do things where it impacts, it works with my neurology where I have had like some brain surgery. So little bits of my brain are no longer there. And so it does help with the focus. Uh, I'm not ADD. That's a myth about coffee and caffeine helping ADD. So it does have a different stimulation in the neurological regions close to and back behind the pituitary glands where there are some nerve bundles, and it does provide some stimulus there. So let's see. Oh, I lost track. Oh, hey, Susan has joined us, and let's see. Oh, and Jen said she missed the brand. It's called Kickin' Horse. Kickin' Horse Coffee. So if you don't mind, and then actually I'm going to show you guys my kettle. We're using the good kettle today, the gooseneck kettle, and this is the Bonvita, and it is awesome because it's a gooseneck, but it's also electric. I've got the option to set it to either Celsius or Fahrenheit on my whims. I can adjust the temperature by individual degrees, so I can use this kettle for everything. No more back and forth. I know, and I have got, what am I doing? Okay, so I'm setting it for 190 degrees, which is what I want to brew for my Kickin' Horse. And once it reaches 190 degrees, I have a button where if I wanted to do things like if I'm multi-brewing tea, then I can hit my button and have it hold, which is nice. If you guys remember, my previous kettle was a manual kettle, which just had a thermometer on top, and I had to adjust my flames to get it just right. So, snazzy. I'm super jazzed about it. We'll talk about how this kettle came into my possession next live stream. Okay, hey Marion, good to see you. Lots of stuff has gone back. Let's see. And Renee said, well, thank you for that. Has mentioned that if I need to skip a little bit, that's of time. Yeah, I don't know. We'll just see how it goes. It's you can see of course I'm flaky anyways. It just comes with the territory. But I'm getting my water ready. I'm using my favorite V60. The beaker with the sealed rubber and the ball bearing so that it can steep. And I've already pre-prepped my filter and moistened it. I'm sorry, Renee, but it is the proper term being used properly. And I'm just going to add my coffee right in there and really hope that my kettle works like super speedy today, like way speedier than usual. Like I wish I had thought to heat it up before the stream. All right, that's good. I love this coffee, and I wish that I felt that I could just buy it all the time, but it is pricey. It's like for the 10-ounce bag is like $15. Sometimes you can get it a couple dollars cheaper, but yeah, so it's definitely one of those. It's a special occasion coffee for me. Let's see. Oh, okay. Air Frying Annie's doing some crafting, squeezing that in. So, hey, Wolfman, nice to see you. Oh, the internet's cranky. That's okay. They can join me with my decaffeinated cranky. So, I just, I got a bit tired this afternoon. Like, I also could have used a nap, but some of that might have also been to the disruption to my sleep schedule this weekend and a lot of excitement and adrenaline. I don't know, but it's hard to say. I feel like I don't normally drink a ton of coffee every day. I drink usually a big giant mug like this, and I usually have a double shot of espresso. I believe that actually, for the most part, my coffee experiences are not going to drastically change. because my one coffee experience is probably going to be to have that double shot of espresso in the morning and a partial mug just all in one experience. I figure that seems fair to me because I do notice that a lot of people have some very large mugs of coffee, or so it does seem to vary just a little bit there. So I think that I'll be okay following that. Oh, and Carrie says he used to drink 4 to 5 cups every day. That is that's a lot. I will say that other members of the family drink entire pots of coffee a day, and so same. And yesterday I took Attila with me to the meetup, and you could see he was a little rough on the edges there as we were paring down. Uh, oh, hi, System Sam. Oh, also a fan of the Kickin' Horse coffee. So, oh, it's almost there. And as soon as we get it to where we can do the bloom, I forgot to put my little divot in there. You guys, I'm so discombobulated, I almost didn't do quality brew methods. So, that's something just so for those of you who haven't been here a long time, when you're doing a pour over, when you put your coffee, you should measure it out. Always put a divot in the middle because the first part of the brew is what we're going to do. It's the bloom. And that's just to wet the grounds and allow them to expand and develop with the fluid. And that's what we're going to do here. You start right in the middle and you slowly just swirl it out to the edge. And we're not filling this. You're just giving it a little touch so the whole thing can get a little bit of the water mixed into it. So that's all good there. It's going to sit for another 30 seconds. And in the meantime, oh, and Air Fry Nanny says she saw the pic. Attila is no longer just a hand in the shot with a glass of water for forgotten ingredients. Yeah, we had to tell him to smile. I felt kind of bad about that, but you know, it was nice. It was still nice to meet everybody, and I was just pleased as punch. So here's our shortened, lazy. This is not truly a recipe or even a very good informational thing. This could have just been a TikTok, but here we are. Actually, I'm going to turn on my air fryer and get that preheating. That is we want it at air frying. I swear I had a preset. There it is, and I'm setting it to 400 for 20 minutes, and we'll let that preheat while I tell you about this. Let's see. Oh, hey, exchange student 2. So we're making purse bacon. Now, this is the trick. A lot of times in our keto circles, people talk about having purse bacon. And when they talk about that, they've just made a bunch of bacon and thrown it into a Ziploc, and they're laughing because they're taking it with them to travel in a purse or bag or something else. Accurate, but also not the actual definition of what a purse bacon is. So purse bacon is layered bacon. It's also gone around in some areas as folded bacon. And what the purse bacon is, it has 2 ways you can fold it. And I will show you won't really be able to see, but you either fold it in thirds, which, you know, despite the fact that it's still called purse bacon, it's trifold wallet bacon. Or I like these little squares. You cut your bacon piece in 2 and you cross it over. You bring one over and you're just making a crisscross to make yourself a little bacon square. And that is what your purse bacon is. And the reason it's called purse bacon is because it's folded up and enclosed into a purse. The reason you would make purse bacon is because what it does is it gives you a crispy layer on the outside and then keeps the inside soft. You do have to be more careful while cooking it because you want it to be cooked through and chewy on the inside, not raw on the inside. So I do say I've seen people do crazy things on TikToks where they do like three strips of bacon, layering it, making these elaborate squares and stuff. You're gonna have raw bacon. I don't care what they show you in the TikToks, they faked it. But the one little square that's one strip of bacon works just fine, and the little folded ones work just fine. Okay, it's now time that I can go ahead and pour my first layer of water into my coffee. Smells so good. You guys, I am so dying. All right. And what we're going to do here is when you do your pour over, you need to give it a quick little stir so that the fines settle properly. You do 1, 2, one direction and 1, 2, the other direction. So that's, again, just to, you're not trying to agitate it. You don't need to give it like some kind of violent stirring. It doesn't need whipped. I think you can, well, not quite. I want you to know that this Kickin' Horse coffee has a gorgeous crema on top. So definitely very, very pleasing. And just give me a moment. I want to talk about the aroma. So yeah, it's got a nice aroma to it. It's got a little bit of a chocolatey forefront, and then maybe a little bit of a fruity or a slight tinge of tart on the after scent there. So I'm hoping that's very similar to what the profile comes through. Let's see what it says on the bag, what they want me to taste versus what I really taste. Let's see if it says. Now, it does not say on the package. I bet I could look it up online, but I'm not going to. Oh, it says cheeky, bright, precocious. That's probably true from the smell. I mentioned that like tang on the afterside, that would be the bright, bringing the bright forward. That's why your brew method is really important, because you don't want bitters that would highlight in there and turn bitter really easily with improper method. All right, this is gone. Oh, I almost spilled my water. All right, there we go. It's in there for 20 minutes. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Sometimes it needs more. If you're doing a lot or it's way thick, sometimes it can take all the way up to 40 minutes. So you have to really question your time and what it's worth to you. But the contrast in textures with the purse bacon are very pleasing. They give you a very nice mouthfeel. So that may be something to consider. Perfect. I know, almost water abuse. Hey, Bluegrass Girl, good to see you. So, all right, I need another sip. Let's see, Bluegrass Girl says she noticed Harry and Wendy, that is the Lovin' It on Keto channel, made purse bacon style, 2 trays at a time, cold start 400. So now you're going to have to do it. Let's see. And Raikkonen says that's what he does. He was watching Harry make bacon, and it seemed so easy, and it is. Let's see. Bluegrass Girl says if she makes bacon straws, is that purse bacon or crazy bacon? I think that is twisted bacon. Let's see. I'm going to scroll back and just take a look here because I've missed so many comments. See, that was the, okay, Jackie is driving. Drive safe, Jackie. We'll catch up with you. And Marianne took a lovely nap, so just trying to wake up. I'm hoping to go to bed right after this. And Carrie says he doesn't miss the coffee, but he's tried performance mushrooms, and they worked really well for you. I'm so excited to hear that because, like I said, I knew you were having negative effects from the coffee. I actually think it's going to be really good for us to cut down on the casual coffee drinking and be able to more appreciate the finer coffee again. I think that's really nice. And that's something that I was really into. So I think it'll be a good value because, and I'll explain some more in a minute. Oh, I see Endless After Hours has joined us. Greetings. And Sharon worked later than planned, so that's why they're eating now. More hellos back and forth. I'm glad that I scrolled back. Let's see. Oh, and Carrie says, okay, more cheers. Said Emerald would say that about garlic. I don't remember what it was that we said. And I think we're doing better now. Let's see. Twirly so it spirals like a straw. Yes, I love twisted bacon. It's a similar effect to the pursed bacon, but in I think it's slightly crispier, and you can put more of it onto a tray. Also, I will say, I don't always love the way this makes such a mess, because now I will have to clean the air fryer hardcore. But that's okay. It's okay. For tonight, it's worth it. Oh, Sherry has joined us. Good evening, Sherry. Let's see. Okay, goodbye, Parleo baby. Paleo Barbie. I am sorry. I just destroyed your name. Good night, Paleo Barbie. Good to see you. Let's see. And Jen says she made bacon mayo today and whipped brown butter. Nice. I was hoping that I'd have enough time tomorrow between some meetings to try Rhonda's butter bacon mayo. It looked really good, and I think that'll be nice for us. Let's see. Jackie has a little bit of bacon to finish tomorrow, but tonight is going to be buffalo chicken dip and pork rinds. I love buffalo chicken dip. That is one of my favorite foods. And Carrie says bacon mayo sounds really good. And Emerald would make roasted garlic and say he could bring it along on the subway. Yes. All right. I'm going to open my my brewer and get this coffee flowing so you can see it. And I'll just hold it up here. You can see it coming down in all its delightful, dark and lovely, very clear. That is gloriously jeweled coffee. I am pleased. And we'll just let it go for a few minutes and see if I need to add an additional amount of water. Sometimes I do like to do so. All right, that should do me. And I'm going to go ahead and turn my kettle off. So, move that out of the way. Let's see here. Let's see. I'm just trying to keep up here. I've seen the comments now. Okay. Oh yeah, and Carrie says he used to watch Emerald all the time. That he used to say that about that he could take the roasted garlic along on the subway. Agreement that the coffee looks good. Renee says she's been ear hustling and she can't. Doing the glorious poo pickup job before the yard guy comes tomorrow. That's probably a polite thing to do. And the work is going to make their second cup of coffee after the live. So I'm just watching the bacon go. Everything is looking great. My coffee is very close to done. So I'm very, 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 very excited. I probably could do a full coffee experience if I want to go ahead and add a little more, but I think I'm going to. Yeah, I'm going to do that. May as well get the whole beaker full for my singular experience for the day. But at any rate, so the reason I said tonight we would talk about BBBE is because I feel like there's been a lot of commentary on it, and we've seen multiple iterations and challenges. And And oh, I see Jen is asking if I'm going to continue my what I eat vlogs through my challenge, and the answer is yes. I feel that they might get a little repetitive and boring, so we will see how it goes. And if it does get too repetitive or boring, I can put a pause and start doing other chats about there, because I do have a lot of things we want to talk about and things that have been delayed just for lazy reasons. Whatever. Mostly because it's work was too intense, and then I just got behind. But we're on top of it now. And Carrie says he's been doing carnivore for almost 3 years and just added some high-fat seafood. Yeah, how's the seafood working out for you? It sounded like it's going well. And high-fat cheese. High-fat cheese is great. So back to the BBBE, beef, butter, bacon, eggs. So there's just always so much controversy about the beef, butter, bacon, eggs and what that actually means. You get your, people like to divvy themselves up. I get this into my cup. Give it a nice aeration as I pour. Look at that. Perfection. I nailed it. I'm so pleased because I've been waiting and waiting, and now it has to rest to finish developing. But we can still smell it. Good evening, Glenda. Thanks for joining. Oh, Carrie says he added oysters and sardines back, and that works good. But they're high in fat and other great stuff. Yeah, I like herring in oil, smoked herring in oil. So, so beef, butter, bacon, eggs. You get your camp store, absolutely, it is only beef, butter, bacon, eggs, and very, very regimented about it. Renee says all the shitty tasks are done. Litter box cleans as well. Now to take the trash and recycling out to the curb. Yeah, not the best, not the most fun tasks, but they certainly are nice when you've got it all done. And Jackie says that she thinks that BBBE is the magic pill everyone's looking for. So we're going to talk about that now. So after many conversations with Dr. Berry, beef, butter, bacon, eggs is mostly alliteration, but not only alliteration, because you can't get too crazy on it, but it is beef is actually all ruminant animals. So you can have beef, bison, elk, goat and lamb, animals that chew and ruminate. It's special. So not poultry. Poultries are not ruminant animals. So we're not eating poultry. Butter. So that would be your traditional butter and your ghee, which is clarified butter. So, but not your flavored butters. Bacon. So that would be the bacon and pork belly, because bacon is made from pork belly. And eggs. Eggs are glorious in all their beautiful forms. Now, the reason you're following this protocol is because you have some troubleshooting to do. Now, initially, when Dr. Berry started putting this out, he was calling it a quick weight loss hack. But truly, that is not what beef, butter, bacon, eggs for. And he said he's learned a lot since then himself, because we are all on a learning journey. And he said, actually, this goes back to just basically exactly what he said about keto in the first place. This is not a weight loss journey. This is not a quick weight loss hack. This is a health reset, a way to troubleshoot issues with your body, a way to get in touch with your station, your satiety. Station's not a word. I made that up just now. A way to get in touch with your satiety, a way to troubleshoot for intolerances. I gotta take a peek. Getting there. I'm gonna go ahead and give this bacon a flip, even though it's not telling me to flip it yet. I just see that so when I would like to flip it. It is sticking and I have to touch the basket. Oh, bacon. There we go. I've loosened the square. I mean, that's the other reason that you want to flip this when it's in these air fryer baskets. Its stuff does tend to stick to it. Ah, my favorite little piece of fat. There we go. I swear I'm not completely incompetent. There we go. All flipped. It's also a fiddly angle, not right for coming in from the front. There we go. All right, so. And Strong says, thanks to Renee for the reminder on the chores. Let's see. And Carrie politely took out the trash from church, which was very kind. Let's see, hellos, some hellos back and forth. Carrie does the raw egg yolks. Yep, I know some people who do that. And has lost 50 pounds. What an accomplishment. But he looked sick at 176 pounds at 6'3". Now that he's carnivore at 183 pounds, he doesn't look sick anymore. Fantastic. That's right. Health and healing. We're looking about our nutrition levels. So, okay, so back to the whole health and healing. So one of the things that you look to accomplish is sometimes, and if you ever have somebody who tells you that they never struggle or they everything is super easy and it is always wonderful without any problems, they are lying to you, and they have rose-colored glasses on. The strictest of the strictest of the strictest have times of struggle or where they just don't wanna, and quite frankly, I would rather just give up and just chill for a while. And it's a never-ending journey. Sometimes when the people start getting really up in arms about how it needs to be very, very strict, and they say like, well, Dr. Berry only ever eats beef, butter, bacon, eggs, and he is the pinnacle of perfection. Listen, I adore Dr. Berry with everything. You know, he is amazing. I love how forward he is. But if you actually listen to him talk, that's not what he says. And if you actually meet him in person or you sit around a dinner table with him, that's not true. He is a real person. He is not Superman. He is a Superman, but he is not, he's a real person. He's talked about, struggling, or like they don't buy certain keto treats because he would eat them all. He's just like you and me. And that is one of the nice things about being around Dr. Berry. So, he'll also tell you like it is. He'll tell you, well, maybe the struggle you have is because you're just being lazy and sloppy. Also true. Hurtful, but true. And often exactly what you need to hear. A protocol like a BBBE will help you find out a lot of things about yourself. It can help, like where I said, dealing with maybe less than healthy behaviors of excessive consumptions. It can help you note your appetite, and that is the same whether it means eating too much or eating too little. You want to learn how to eat the appropriate amount for you. Now, initially, oh, my light is blinking up ahead. I'm sorry about that. So that's what that little flash is up here. I have a lantern that I put up to shine down some more light, and I guess it says the battery is going dead because it's flashing at me. I tried. Oh well. At any rate, other things it can do is it's going to help you, as you slow reintroduce things, find out where you might have intolerances. And I see in the questions from Jen if everyone in the house is doing BBBE for the same reasons. And the answer to that is yes, no, it's complicated. We have some overconsumption of nuts, or and uh, also we have varying issues health wise. Like I've got the rheumatoid arthritis, and there's a MS in the house, and whenever we have seasonal changes, there's a variety of symptoms that flare and stuff, and so a stricter protocol may or may not help with that. But we're willing to do 30 days and find out. Um, I think that that's a great idea, just to give it a quick test. You never know. You can do anything for 30 days. It's 30 days. 30 days is nothing in the grand scheme of things. It's time, you guys. It is time. Mm. Okay, it's spectacular. Okay, that is awesome. It is great. It definitely has that little bit of a dark, bittery, chocolatey sort of bent to it, and not bitter in a bad way. I mean bitter in the good way. It's really smooth. It's delightful. So, again, I cannot say enough nice things about the kicking horse. I just wish that I could buy it all the time, which will not ever happen. So, anyways, we're hoping to discover symptom reliefs. We're looking to refine and maybe reset ourselves from unhealthy food behaviors, and we are looking to identify and anything that might be like an undiagnosed or undiscovered intolerance, because that's especially important to me, because I have wild swings sometimes, where, like, for example, yesterday what I ate at the restaurant was fine. Nothing was out of crazy or anything, and I actually only ate half the meal. But today I woke up and I had 4 pounds extra, so I definitely had some inflammation. No telling what it was, but it'll right back off as we clean everything up. We're doing great on our hydration. We've talked about some of the things that we know we can do and we can't do, and where we're at. Oh, Carrie's bringing up the Death Wish coffee. We've done Death Wish coffee, and it was very tasty coffee. I actually upset people with my review of the Death Wish coffee, because I said, but it didn't seem like it gave me any more of a caffeinated jump than other coffees in that same genre, of which I would have other coffees that have a robusto. And I felt that the Nguyen 100% robusto Vietnamese coffee actually felt more punchy than the Death Wish. Whether that bears it out in numbers is, to me, irrelevant. And I will also say that the Vietnamese coffee tasted better, although I would never be sad about the Death Wish coffee. It was good. You know, sometimes that's hard for people to grasp, that not being the most amazing doesn't mean bad. It was good. It was very tasty. So, let's see. Oh, and Rickwin, they're talking about height, and said that was always taller than other children until high school. I've always been a shrimp all around. Sharon says all the soybean fields being harvested around here are impacting it. And we have bacon. Let me just get the tray out. I'll put it on this towel. Watch Maitreya burn herself on the air fryer. Nope. Perfect. But, so, I know you can't really see the bacon. It's too hot for me to touch it. We're going to let it sit for a second. But I can tell you, well, you can hear maybe if I give it a good scraping. No, probably not. Maybe if I get up here by the microphone. I don't know. Maybe you can hear it or not, but it's crispy. It it's got a crisp to it, but overall the bacon is not totally crispy. It's also soft and bendy, so you can see it at the same time. So that is why the purse bacon. The other thing is because it's folded, you can wrap it all up and put it in your purse, and it will be sturdy and will not be all crumbled up and destroyed into bacon crumbs. So we will be eating one of these pieces of bacon, and the other three I'm going to put away for the morning or something. Whoops, 1 second. Throwing stuff on the floor. So, and these are with the little cubes. They come out in nice, cute little squares. They're delightful as well. They're chewy on the inside. And that's it for purse bacon. All right, so back to the beef butter bacon eggs. I will also tell you that I've never, despite all of the cooking that I do, never made my own lamb chops. So I do think as we tire of all of the beef, I'm probably going to pick some lamb chops up. I see that they have some nice ones at Costco. So I think I will probably try that, and I will make sure that I'm doing it justice. I usually get them out because it's such an iffy thing to me, and it's 50-50. I either think it is the best tasting thing ever, or they haven't cooked it properly, and I hate it. I don't want to cook it improperly and hate it after I buy it. So, oh, and Tanya is here. Good to see you, Tanya. It says Kicking Horse has a nice little kick to it. Good to see Canada representing. You like their twin sister blend. Yeah, so they've got that. I really like the Smart Ass blend. They also have one that's a kick-ass blend. But the Smart Ass is my favorite out of the Kicking Horse coffees. And it's just good. So we're really looking to I'm just really looking to do a lot of stuff. Oh, Bluegrass Bill says her oldest son makes awesome lamb chops. Great. Renee says her birthday ink session is next Saturday, and oh, very exciting. The artist is allowed creative freedom, so she takes your interest and ideas and does an original that she will send you Wednesday. Oh, nice. I love that. I love when I can trust a good artist to just go and do their art thing. I often go in because I know my tattoo artists well the same way. I tell them, hey, here's what I'm looking for. I would like this sort of design. And they take it and I say, and I would like your take on it and your style. And they draw it up, and I can tell you that I've never really been able to say, no, I hated that. Now, I do have some bad tattoos that were bad decisions because, when you are 14, 15, 16 and can walk right across the border in New Mexico and get whatever dumbass tattoo you decide on, okay, maybe the best thing doesn't happen. And so I do have some of those, but it's still good because it's still memories. So I don't mind that. Oh, Carrie, that joke. So, and let's see. Okay, I lost track. Anyways, back to the beef butter bacon eggs. Let's talk some more about it because that's really what I wanted to express about it. Now, in pretty much every group, there is great debate about pork rinds. So I'm going to set the record straight on the Maitreya point of view. The Radical Geek view is that pork rinds are a maybe food for beef butter bacon eggs in a geekery sense. And here's why. Because we're allowed pork belly and bacon because bacon is made from pork belly. Now, high-end quality pork rinds are made from the skin on the pork belly. Low-end pork rinds can be skinned from many areas of the pig, but good high-quality pork rinds use the skin from the belly that has been removed during a bacon making process. Some bacon retains the skin. So if you get really thick slice and you see that the edge has little teeny bumps on it, that probably still has the rind. It's delightful. It's delicious. It makes great bacon. So for me, if it's a part that I can have on some bacons, then I'm not really sure why frying it up fluffy and adding salt would make it suddenly not acceptable. Except we're doing beef butter bacon eggs to get in touch with our satiety and to get control of potentially harmful or addictive eating patterns. So, are you the sort who can actually sit there and eat a half ounce of pork rinds, which is like 4 pork rinds, and then be satisfied and continue on with the rest of your food? If the answer is yes, and you can do that and only have it like maybe once or twice a week, then you're probably okay to have that in there. However, if you can't eat just like 4 pork rinds and not worry about it and go and put that bag away and seal it and know that maybe you might not get to it in the next 3 days and they might go stale and you might lose out on it or something like that, it might not be a food that you can include. I will also tell you that my teeth have a lot of issues because when you have cancer and you go through a lot of chemo and radiation, it damages your teeth. And I feel strongly that having some hard crunch chew, I've made this up in my head. I have no dental background whatsoever, but I feel like it's good for my teeth to make them do some work. I actually could be wrong. Maybe that's actually a bad thing to do for my teeth. But it does make my mouth feel better, and it helps with my TMJ. So let's see. Oh, and Jen is asking, what high-quality pork rinds would I recommend? Either homemade, and by homemade I mean either make it yourself or go to an international grocery with a Mexican market that makes their own and ask them. Most of them will tell you that they use the pork belly and they fry it in their own lard. That's the other thing with the pork rinds. You got to make sure that they are frying it in their own lard. If they're not and they're using an oil, right out. I will tell you, my favorite flavored pork rinds, Pork and Good. The Pork and Good flavored pork rinds are great, but not for BBB and E, because if you go to their website and you want to order plain pork rinds, their plain pork rinds come from another vendor. Their partner vendor, their plain pork rinds are not suitable. They have ingredients that are not friendly for ketogenic food plans. So maybe if you tolerate those ingredients in small amounts, you can eat them outside in a regular ketogenic diet as part of your daily intake, but certainly not during a BBB and E. Hungry Heath, I am a doctor of literature, and actually, more specifically, I'm not even like generic literature, English literature, which means I can tell dirty jokes and terrible dirty humor and fart jokes. Then you got all your good classic English literature rolled into one, especially if you love Chaucer. He is the man he was. So, at any rate, I digress. Let's see. And Jen says she would more use the pork rinds to grind up a serving and use them to make meatballs or as a binder in the egg waffle type thing. I just don't know. I just don't know how I feel about that. For me personally, I don't know that I would do that because I feel that would be easy for me to get a slippery slope. So I'll stick to the single serving a couple times a week because I know I can handle that. I'm eating some purse bacon. It's perfect. It's really good. It really bridges that gap because I don't like soft bacon. I like crispy bacon. But I like when I have thick sliced bacon and I get a little bit of both. And this sort of bridges that gap. Okay, I'll stop and continue talking. So, where I was. But I love the idea that you might be able to work it into your food plan in that kind of application. The same way that I say the keto police need to mind their own business on what kind of choices you make with your foods is the same thing I feel about the pork rinds. Step off. I'm doing everything that I need to do for me. You do what you need to do for you. Now, if you ask for advice because you've hit a struggle and we do a dive into what you're doing and we discover like, well, I made pork rind waffles in the morning, then I made meatballs with pork rinds in it in the afternoon, and then I breaded some ground beef patties in pork rinds for dinner, and then I made purse bacon and put crispy pork rinds in the middle. And then I made hard-boiled eggs and I coated them in pork rinds and fried those. Maybe I'm going to say, like, this might be something you need to think about taking out of your plan. So it's about finding that balance. Bluegrass Girl is asking, what about microwave pork rinds? Ingredients are pork and salt. You microwave or bake to puff them. So it depends, because you really have to take a look at the brands and find out what fat they have used, because they do include some fat in their mix. A lot of them do use only the lard. And you also need to call the manufacturer and ask them if they have stuck to strictly the belly fat. Sometimes they will tell you they don't know, but if you tell them that you need to know, they can find someone who can get back to you and tell you that. So, but yeah, if it's the microwave ones and you find that they do meet all that criteria, that would be great. Let's see. Brenda is saying to take a look at the Epic brand. I think those are pretty good, available in regular grocery stores. Oh, that's right. Back to what I was saying. Your own, the Mexican grocery. Also, the Utz brand. That's what I bought because I was too lazy to make my own. And I did my monthly shop, so I'm not going back to the grocery for a while. With one exception. I'm going to go to Costco because I just got my rebate check. And so I'm going to go and buy some beef to add to the kiddie pool in the freezer. Let's see. But yeah, so those are, I mean, I'm sure there are plenty of brands. I don't know them all. I'm very fond of the homemade, though, because it just works well for me, and I happen to have access to it. Now, if I had to make them myself homemade, I'm going to tell you my enthusiasm would be way down. Not that I couldn't do it, but man, I just don't want to put in the effort. So there you go. Convenience wins for me every time. So the other thing is, I know that we have to be careful about ingredients and we're not supposed to have natural flavoring and all of that jazz. But I am making one exception to that rule. And that is for my magnesium at night. Listen, I love Keto Chow magnesium. But if I do the shot just plain with nothing, even if I just try to dissolve it all in plain water, it comes back up. And it hurts. So it works good, but it still tastes bad. So I am going to continue to mix that with a partial serving of the Vital Calm Magnesium, which has sweetener and has flavorings and has ingredients that we're not supposed to have on BBBE. It is the only exception. We're sticking to the smoked salt and regular salt and maybe a little black pepper. End of story. I need it because I get really bad leg cramps. I need it for muscle recovery. I've decided that that is the hill that I must die on, that is the one thing, it's going to have to stay. So, um, people add in all kinds of little things here and there, and Dr. Berry has said, if you can't live without it, that's for you to decide. You know what you have to do, and I know what I have to do in this case. I would 100% not tell someone else that they should do or follow my example in that arena. I have some very specific things. Oh, hey, Sky. Whoa, it's been a long time. But I'm glad that you're here. Time zones do suck. But it's all right. It's good to see you. I'm eating purse bacon and drinking my single coffee experience for the day. And it is giving me life. So, oh, Scott, I'm going to reach out and tell you some other stuff, and that's not live streamy stuff. I was so excited this weekend. I can't wait to share it. I got to share it with other people because I was so excited. So, oh, and Jackie's saying I don't have to justify, which is true, but I also want to explain and share. And I want to be clear about my why so other people know that, and this is the case where it's a don't do as I do, but you might need to find stuff. And then Sharon says she's allowing 1 daily packet of True Lime with the KC Daily Minerals in a liter of water. Right. And Brenda says so many channels are doing BBBE this month. Not great for finding new recipes. I will see what I can do, but you're right. And the worst thing is that I already love those egg puddings. They are so good. They are a comfort food for me all around. And so now it's like, oh, not only is it a comfort food for me all the time, it's a pretty essential food during the BBB and E because it just really makes my day. So you'll see plenty of those, and they've gotten simpler because I'm not adding chili flakes or adding kimchi or flavored infused oils or roasted garlic to the top. Instead, I'm using my beef bone broth and the eggs, or even just being more simple and just water and eggs. And so you are going to see that periodically. But today, the one that I made was so good. I thought about it all day. I almost just had it for my second meal too. But you'll hear about that tomorrow. So, but I will make sure that I try to do some things to kind of make it creative and more sustainable for us. I will tell you that in the freezer, I had pork belly already cooked, and I pulled some of that out for tomorrow. And I'm looking for it. Oh, and Sky's still bummed you missed the meetup. You have some extra air miles, so maybe the next time you could fly in and be there. I tell you what, Sky, I will give you some, I'm going to say, you probably want to save the last weekend of April. And it's 7:28, so it's almost time. So I'm going to switch my screen here. Yesterday, and Sky's asking if they're the egg puddings that Bella makes. For steak and butter gal Bella, absolutely. Well, they're similar. They are Chinese egg puddings, so yes. All right, I'm going to switch this over, and hopefully this is going to work, to the Pick-A-Winner. Now, we might have to do it a couple times. Because lots of people commented, and people who were at the meetup are not eligible. But what I am giving away tonight is one of our swag bags. Now, I was thinking I had 3 swag bags, and then I remembered, oh yeah, I get a swag bag. I know I was, that Dawn and I were in charge of the event, but I still get a swag bag. So I set one aside for myself, and Claire was all signed up to come to the meetup, but couldn't make it because she got sick. And it was really sad. We all adore Claire. and collectively we decided that we should package that the swag bag that was reserved for her and just send it and mail it to her. And I think that that's probably the right thing to do. So we're going to give the last remaining swag bag away tonight. And let me just switch over to that and I have to figure out how to do it. So I'm going to disappear. We're going to have the giveaway and hopefully it works. If not, we'll scramble a little bit and make it happen. All right. So there's the screen. Let's see. Hopefully you're seeing what I'm seeing. I'm clicking the fetch. Anything goes. I'm not going to allow duplicates. So if somebody last minute, but let's see. It's waiting. Loaded, 21 comments. Tanya, hey, congratulations. So here's what I need you to do. I need you to send me an email at radicalgeek42@gmail.com. Hey, Melody. Oh, I'm so glad to see you. Of course, the live is almost over, but there we go. So it's radicalgeek42@gmail.com. And now we'll turn this off and go back to the regular screen. So send me an email with your shipping address, and by the end of the week, because I'm doing a big mailing out on next Friday, I will get that in the mail to you. As long as you email radicalgeek42@gmail.com. I'm going to ask you to have that task complete by Wednesday. If I don't have it by the end of the day, Wednesday, I'm going to redraw and give it to the next person. So, I thought I saw Tanya here earlier, but if not, we make sure that we put that in. Where's my keyboard? Let's do it. I think. Yes, send that to. All right. Oh, highlighted my own name. That's funny. Anyways, that's the email address. Send it there. I gotta say, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I had a blast seeing everybody. I loved being able to share all the keto products with people. I loved how much the vendors supported our event. I love how enthusiastic everyone was and how generous people were. And Sharon made the bags. They are fan-freaking-tastic. Go back and watch yesterday's. If you missed it, go back and watch yesterday, and I'll show you. And because I went through and I showed everybody everything, and really showed the bags. They were just gorgeous. So that's everything for tonight. Do we have any more BB&E comments or questions? Oh, thanks, Lisa. Lisa said, glad it went smoothly. And let's see. Bluegrass Girl sent a design to Sharon. Yes, I'm excited man, Sharon's embroidery is just great. I can't say enough nice things about it. And I do put her webpage in my description, because if you see, actually, like, I know I've showed you guys before, but it's awesome. I've got my CAWFEE Talk apron on, and she made this too. And check it out. It's my coffee cup right on there, so you can see it's the same. So I just think it's great. So, all right. Last call for questions or comments or answers. And if you don't have them now and you come up with some later, leave the comment once this publishes. And make sure that before you log out for the evening or scroll off to another YouTube video, that you hit the thumbs up button for me, because it's going to be super helpful right now. It's really helpful for YouTube metrics and stuff like that. Hey, thank you, Carrie. I will indeed have a great and cheesy night. Actually, probably not so cheesy. Yeah, I don't know. I might watch some anime, and it does get rather cheesy. So, all right. Oh, hey, hello, Teresa, and good night. I'll look forward to seeing you later. And I will post my daily vlogs, and we will talk about topics and struggles and how we feel good about things and where we're not feeling good about things, because doing an extreme protocol like BBB and E sounds really delicious at first, but I promise you it's not super easy and not always super fun. So we will uplift each other and get us all through it. Achieve for success. Good night, everyone. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Yes, we are almost at 500 subscribers. How exciting is that? Goodbye. Good night.